Hello, fellow cyborgs. Today I'm going to be doing a poetry book review, as you may have guessed from the title, and that would be Magnesium by Ray Buckley. This comes out on the 10th of January 2017, and I was sent this for review. Before we get on with said review, book haiku. Consumerism, narcotic conversations, postponing goodbye. Buckley contacted me and asked if I would be interested in reviewing his first poetry collection, which is coming out in January, and he was very mysterious about the whole thing, about what this collection was really about and what I could expect from it. And in the package that contained this poetry collection, he had a note where he said, "Just so you know, there's only one typo in this arc, so everything that you find in this collection was deliberate." So I really didn't know what to expect. I ended up giving this 3 out of 5 stars. There were some poems that I really enjoyed, but the themes that he was tackling in here generally weren't the sorts of themes that were interesting to me. Those included commercialism, a failing love affair, the idea of deity, the meaninglessness of modernity, and self-doubt. There's also one poem in here with a self-harm trigger warning, but otherwise there was nothing else to warn you about. Buckley's writing style in this collection varies. Most of the poems are quite short. Some are written out as almost a conversation, as prose poetry. He tends to use 3 syllables for a word where a 1-syllable word would do. And what this does is it directly pinpoints his meaning, but it brings so much detail to the person's mind that it was kind of disorienting. That was one of the great characteristics I found in here. He was talking about a lot of really big themes and doing so using some big vocabulary, which just kind of leaves you a little disoriented if you don't take it slow. But that use of language is really cool to see. I find that my vocabulary as by the use of cool is way more limited than perhaps it was in high school and perhaps I would like it to be. And I'm amazed constantly when I find words in a dictionary that means a certain thing that before you had to use a string of words to communicate to someone. So the extra vocabulary lesson that you're getting out of Magnesium is just a bonus. And don't let that intimidate you, because that's only in some poems. Some of them are quite colloquial, quite short, and quite easy to understand. Let me read you some of my favorite poems in here so you get an idea of what you can find. This poem is entitled 150725. I'm not entirely sure what to think this evening. I've put a requirement of 1 page on myself, and though my expectations are low, I hope the content I fill it with will not be bile. Anyway, I've written thus far tonight a few poems. I've recently taken it upon myself to abandon the central subject of my book. I think to avoid condemning the work to an abiding and singular preoccupation. I've thought, or rather, I've been concerned that so much attention to you might hurt the expression of you, that there would be no foil or something. Somehow I'd betray you by making you the entire breadth of it. These are just a few thoughts. I've taken up taking narcotics again. The days have been much work, and not this work, the right kind of work, but the work which provides for my financial security. So at night I've been retiring to chemicals. It's very pleasing right now to be free of the stress of complete sobriety, particularly one weary from the stress of efforts I'm ambivalent to spend. I miss you. Some nights are harder than others. Forgive me for my candid weakness and whatever offense this commits to art, but I need you with unconscionable desperation. I was watching some throwaway television from the 1990s, and the actors in the romantic relationship do a very good job of performing the scripts. They have good pathos, and on a narcotic, I'm inclined to remember you, and to hurt quite a lot for it. Michael's in a relationship now, another one. I don't know who he was with when we were together, probably no one until Delaney, but I don't know if he really ever knew her. Besides, that didn't last long, and I've heard twice Michael repudiate the relationship in its entirety. He seems to regard it as an adolescent tangent, nothing valuable. But sometimes Michael's mind crops up with a mystery like that. I don't know. Maybe he was trying to impress someone with his capacity for indifference. I don't remember who we were with. He's in a relationship now, and I'm not sure why I'm telling you this, other than the fact that we both enjoyed his company and his idea of entertainment. He's fronting a band, and the press is quite generous with their praise. He's a tad rustic for my taste, but that's mostly his collaborator's doing, who sings, writes, and plays a lot like someone from rural Oregon. It's odd, but both have punk sensibilities, which make up for their pastoral leanings. He's well. I'd like to take you to one of his shows, just because that's something we used to do, and I think you'd enjoy it. Well, at least I think you'd enjoy the act of doing it. Perhaps not the details so much, but the atmosphere and, preferably, most notably, the company. This would certainly be the case with me. All the event would be secondary, but Michael's usually a good time, and I'd enjoy the digression so long as we'd accompany each other. Remember the bathroom at the hangar show? I sometimes forget how audacious we were in combination, like what we did in the park in virtually wide open space and perfect view of all those houses and the people walking on the concrete path. I love you. There's not much for me to do but resign to the desire to say it. I'm often far too direct to satisfy the expectations of art, so let me transgress one more time. I love you. And here's another one significantly shorter called A Branchlet of Star Magnolia. Let me leave you a brief something to honor our time together. A terrible wilderness of lives is where we made contact. You left your loneliness on the shelves of bookstores and wondered about melancholy. It's because of you I have any regard for the forest. So it's an interesting collection, to say the least, with the various forms of the poetry in here, the various themes that are being tackled, and the various voices that are being taken as well. If you stuck around this long and you think that this might be something for you, I have exciting news, which the title probably gave away, which is a giveaway. This copy I've been holding up is an ARC. However, I do have one finished edition of Magnesium by Ray Buckley that was kindly sent to me by him in the same package as the ARC. So if you are interested in reading Magnesium by Ray Buckley and you would like to do that for free, then be sure you are over the age of 18 or have your parents' permission. Subscribe to my channel, like this video, and let me know in the comments down below that you would like to win this copy. I will do the random number generator thing once I have a handful of people who are interested in the giveaway, probably maybe in a week's time, and I will contact you in the comment section of my video asking you for your personal information on a more private arena in social media. Simple as that. If you want a copy of Magnesium, subscribe, like this video, and let me know in the comment section. So that is my review for Magnesium by Ray Buckley. I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. I liked it, and some of the poems I thought were incredibly beautiful. I hope that you are excited to check this out once it's released, and good luck in the giveaway. I hope to chat with you very soon. Thank you for watching, and until next time, continue to be lovely. And thank you to my patrons who continues to support me on Patreon. I don't even have my mouth using anymore, but I like this thank you better than before. I don't know. Was that all right?